Good evening, everybody. Welcome
Evening.
to this evening's hobby stream with myself, Paul, and David, who's currently off camera. But
Because
technology.
doesn't want to work.
So I hope you're all able to get some hobby done over the next couple hours. Some painting or model assembly or whatever it is that's your bag. And for me, myself, I'm going to be working on another of my Dungeons and Doggies minis. We're going to do, hopefully get started on the Pomeranian Monk, if I do you a close-up of that. See if we can get that a little bit better lit. Oh, well, not really better, but as good as it's going to get. So, yeah, this tiny little chapper here, or lass, Nightingale is the name on the box. So, we're going to be hopefully getting some paint down on this sometime in the next couple of hours. I'm not sure what you're up to, David.
I'm currently in the process of hacking up cans ready for Gaslands. And then I'm probably going to be on some building. I don't know whether I'm going to build some terrain or finish off building Club's Deadzone minis, is the honest answer. So that's what I'm up to.
I take it what you've just sent me, you want me to attempt to fix your video so we can actually see you.
That's my new video link, because Ninja's a piece of shit.
We say that, or it could be that you're just completely fucking disorganised.
It's not my fault. I tried to stop the stream.
Hang on a minute.
So that I could appear.
Hey!
Hello world!
It's not Ghostbusters, mate. You know, there's no crossing the streams here.
No, just crossing swords instead, apparently.
Right. So.
Fucking. Right, rule number 1 for people who want to convert Coke cans into usable material for Gaslands.
Yeah.
Use a piece of crap pair of scissors. Second rule, don't grab the piece of metal as it's sliding away from you, because it will just tear your hand open.
Don't tell me. That's already happened.
Nearly. It's Jesus my public service Christ. Announcement. But 1 of 2 down. So I now have material for my Gaslands.
So what do you do? Basically, just open the can out and fold it out like a sheet, and then...
Yeah. So what my plan with this is... Let me just check where I am on stream in relation. Okay, so we've got my full screen this week, so that's fine. I can cope with that. We're not cropped in. So, what I've done so far, for those that care, is this week I have been stripping minis. So, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minis drilled out, ready and stripped in various states of stripping, and then been reassembled. What I'm planning on doing, if I can get this bastard apart as a demonstration, is use some of my sheet to come this way, cover over the windows and make like extra armor panels and that kind of thing. Paul, is what my plans are.
Right.
So that is step 1. I do also have some styrene sheet, and then I also have some of the body repair mesh that you can buy from Halfords.
Yeah, I know the stuff. I've used that quite a bit in the past.
The stuff that we said about for you for doing some chain link fences.
Yeah.
So that's step 1. Step 2, I just this morning late back to Kickstarter. It's in its last month of late backing. Fuel Worlds.
I did get that queued up as a page. Because I thought we'd have a bit of a chat about Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter's been a train wreck this week, hasn't it?
It's been a busy week. For me anyway, because I don't normally take a huge amount of interest in Kickstarter. I know you do more, but
yeah,
that's more
but
like the digital stuff,
yeah,
innit?
that's the thing. I've backed. We had this conversation a little bit last night, actually, but we had. I had a quick look through my Kickstarter. I've backed 11 projects. The dungeon cards were physical. Assassin's Creed was physical. League of Infamy was physical. And Halflings and Fantasy Friends from TT Combat was physical. So 4 out of the 11 Kickstarters I have backed have been for physical products. Well, 12 now, but so one in 3 or 1 in 4 is for something that's got a physical deliverable at the end.
Yeah,
Everything
manufacturable.
else I back just so happens to be digital because obviously I'm a 3D printing sadist. And we were having actually should we start off on that? Should we jump down this rabbit hole while we're here? Or...
Well, hang on, because I need to do a lot of OBS faffing for that.
And you're mid painting.
Yeah, I'm painting.
No, that's fair enough. So that was that. So yeah, I'm going to print some weapons and some extra bits and some tires and stuff for these, and I'm going to get for painting comp this month 3 cars done. That's my goal. I've got a theme in mind. Got some.
Yeah, you said
cool
you were gonna.
Cool ideas. Yeah, going to do some freehand and stuff on them.
And what was your theme idea? Was it like some sort of motor racing thing? I say it's all a bit lost on me.
Yeah, I was going to say you're old and you don't know of JDM. So basically, I'm doing a set of 3 JDM themed cars. So Japanese domestic market.
That's what that stands for.
Yes, tuned cars. So I'm doing a 1970 Toyota Celica as car number 1.
I love Celica.
I know, and it looks even better now. The paint's off it. So we've got offensive item number 1 to sort out. Offensive item number 2 I bought last night, and it's a Subaru WRX STI. And
Christ.
no, that's not an innuendo in there somewhere. And then the third one, I think you'll actually be quite happy with the third one, Paul, because it is right up your street. Is this bad boy? So it's a...
Oh, we got a commenter. But it just looks like a random string of characters.
As the cat leant on the keyboard.
I think so. Well, welcome, whoever you are. Hiya, Tim.
Now then, yeah. Well, we say fixed our cameras. What
you let us know.
Is just stay with the same shit the next week. So yeah, that's my theme this month. So 1970 Celica, 2011 WRX STI.
And what was the last one? I missed it because I was looking at comments.
GRX 56, aka the Fusion Buster, which is it's not a proper car. It's a very Hot Wheels car, but it's so up JDM style streets. We're going for it. So we're going to do some freehands. We're going to do possibly some GW Green Stuff World color shift paints.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good choice really for cars.
Yeah, good choice. Well, again, they're really nice hollow paints, and everyone sees the tuners driving that shit round. So that's that. I had an absolutely stellar game of Gaslands on Monday. Absolutely stellar. It was, I think it's like my 5th time of playing now. Had a couple of intro games with Wayne and stuff at club. And then Ricky as well. And me and Ricky are really into the Gaslands at the moment. So we had we had a death race. Let's put the piece of material that I need to cut up there. So we had a death race, 50 cans. There was me, Ricky, and Mikey playing. So there was 3 of us. We had quite a good race. Me and Ricky sort of ran away with it a little bit, ran away from the pack. And then in usual Gaslands carnage, the back of the grid was an absolute train wreck. Wrecked cars left and right, the conga line, all sorts of egregious just stuff happening. So that was a good game. What did you get up to this week?
So this week I played Malifaux 3rd edition for the first time in forever. I didn't get any pictures or anything, but to be fair, I was teaching a completely new player. The guy who I was playing the other week, Joe, he fancied giving it a go, so I ran my 35 Soulstone Wong list versus a 35 Soulstone Asami 10 Thunders list. And it was a good game. We only made it through 2 full turns, but Malifaux does require a lot of headspace for a completely new player, and when you've never seen any of the models before, even playing like a reduced cost game like 35 Soulstones, there's a lot to get your head around.
It's overwhelming.
Schemes and strategies, even the scoring mechanisms are very complex sometimes. But yeah, it was a really good game. He absolutely killed me.
There's a wild surprise.
He's to be fair, it's just a case of he's a very good player of games. He focuses on what needs to be done very quickly, and he played a far better game at sort of getting the strategies and schemes established early. So even at the end of turn 2, he was 4-2 up. But it was good. And the other thing is, I know my Wong list because I played it so much, but I don't really know Asami at all. So I was really struggling with what I was doing, but I was able to tell him, well, do this, that combo's off, and then it's much more effective way of doing things. Whereas with my own list, I was like...
You was a bit like, what the hell's going on here?
I don't know. Whatever.
Right. Power tools. The power tools are already coming out this evening. Let's
have a quick look here. I'm going to close that.
Right. That's the start of that. Let's get my sacrificial cutting mat. Get my car.
So yeah, that's what I did Tuesday.
I've only got one rivet to drill out. That's all right.
Oh, are you separating the new car to be stripped?
Yep. I apologise for the camera shake for those that are watching.
Oh. Honestly do not know what colours I'm going to do this.
Now then, Tim, what have you been up to this week if you're still here? Right, hopefully. Oh, yes! There we go. And just like that, you have a Subaru in pieces. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Here's one I disassembled earlier.
So yeah,
need to be darker. Probably not.
Decking them to pieces is nice and easy, nice and quick. Who else do we got in chat this week?
Well, I think we've only got one viewer at the moment. That's Tim. Trying not to go mental. Tim trying not to go mental. So, do you want to elaborate, mate, or are you going to be cryptic? How does that work?
I mean, you could always join the party. We're already pretty mental.
Painting. Now he is getting some work done in a month's mental breakdown.
Yeah.
With some painting some heresy minis. So, okay, well, good that you're keeping the productivity going, mate, despite everything.
Right, that is a Subaru disassembled. Put the metal shavings in the bin, and then we'll go on to the next one.
So, mate,
Huzzah!
do you... I don't know what I can do. Tell you what, let me open this up.
Oh, you bugger! You got a metal chassis and a metal body. Little two jets rocket car.
I tell you what,
Let's go.
I tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna put all of these.
All of what?
Oof.
You're not meant to speak in riddles, Paul.
Hang on. Right. I'm just gonna put all of your Gaslands pictures into a slideshow and try and stick them up on the screen for everyone.
Oh,
he
he says while failing.
Well, I don't.
I mean, we could start a crusade. I can't even fucking English tonight. We could start a crusade, Tim. Where are we headed? That's hopefully the two jet script.
Okay, maybe I'm not.
Is it being awkward?
Slideshow, thank you. God. Right. Right. If I go to...
Mattel, people that manufacture Hot Wheels, can you please use the same fucking sized rivets in all of your cars for future reference? Because I'm a little pissed off that I'm drilling half my chassis out. Ah, shit. There we go. That's that one free. Now let's free the other end.
No, this is harder than it looks because I've got to set it all up in advance.
I mean, yeah, that is a thing, Tim, considering it cost me 50 quid.
So forget that idea.
Fill mine on Tuesday, and it's only a little 1 litre Igo. So yeah, that was very annoying.
What's that? Tim complaining about the cost of fuel.
Yeah, play Gaslands because nobody can afford to fill up their tank anymore, and apparently, let's go to Foreground since word goes around that they're closing up shop.
Oh, what?
I was about to say that's gonna hit you hard, Paul. You love Foreground stuff.
It might save me a lot of money though. But that will be a shame.
Money.
Is that because of the cost of the raw material stuff, I guess?
Probably.
Going a bit nuts. Jesus, that's sad.
I mean, the stuff you've got is insanely beautiful. I don't own any Foreground stuff myself, but... Right, that's my 2 jet stripped. That wasn't... I've just put fucking metal shavings all in my crotch. That's going to be fun later. Right. Don't anyone ever let me have power tools again after this evening.
Oh yeah, right, like we can do anything. Oh, that brush is way too big for that job. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, so apologies everybody. David did furnish me with pictures and that for his Gaslands game, but we had a little bit of a delay in setting up, and I haven't been able to get them linked into OBS without it being a massive pain. So I'll leave that.
I mean, Tim, I know what you're saying. I mean, I had issues at the local petrol station where I filled up with petrol. They had no diesel, so had you taken your car, you wouldn't have got anything anyway. And that's the third time in as many days that they've run out of diesel, because rather than buy it in bulk and buy it cheaper, because obviously the price goes up constantly, they're buying it a tank at a time. It's bullshit. It's really bullshit.
Why is that? Are they hoping it's going to go down?
It's fucking Sainsbury's, you tell me.
I was going to say, if it's a big company like that, it can't be a cash flow issue. An independent garage, it might be, but...
Oh, fucking hell, that just fell apart on me. Wonderful.
Maybe there aren't the supplies. Maybe that's the story. Maybe they're not. Maybe they can't bulk buy.
And Tim's in Europe as well, isn't he?
Yeah, you're Germany, I think, ain't you, Tim?
Look at this nice Hot Wheels car, Paul, with no chassis.
Let me click back to OBS.
No body.
Ooh. What did you just take the top half off? Oh, okay.
Ready to go in the stripper.
Very good.
So that's my 3-card strip that I wanted to get stripped tonight. I mean, Paul doesn't have the fuel issues now you emigrated, do you?
Do you know what? I was actually thinking about mentioning that, but I thought, no, it's a bit like a salt in everybody's wound.
That's so fucking unlike you.
Now that we live here in Rothsey, everything is within walking distance. I use the car, I don't know, maybe twice a week to drive half a mile to the gaming club and go to the supermarket to pick up a load of shopping that's too big to carry. But that's it. So our fuel usage is through the floor.
Yes, Tim is from the Germany.
Yep, I thought so.
Yeah, to be fair, after what you said of the stream the other week, because I caught it a little bit as well. Oh, I cracked up a little bit. Right. I was about to say I'll put it to a vote of what I do next. The only problem is there's
only Tim.
There's
Tim gets
and you.
All of the power.
MDF TT Combat Terrain, Tim, for Drop Zone Commander, or the other half of the Deadzone minis that I've got to build for Club.
Ooh, I tell you what.
You decide.
Here's a thing. What? So, if the word on the street is foreground are in trouble,
yeah.
What about TT Combat? They're pretty massive into the MDF market.
Yes, but TT have diversified.
That is true.
You've got Carnivale, you've got DZC, you've got Rumble Slam.
Yeah, I know they do all the games as well.
Shit as well. Don't mention the war. No, Tim, we shall not mention the war. Okay, Tim has voted. Tim has voted for fucking Deadzone, so we'll get that bombed up out of the way.
Good man. Well done.
Do minis. I mean, fucking Terrain is still mini.
To be fair, I was thinking about doing terrain for next month's painting competition, because obviously with the theme being something a little bit different, or whatever it is, something completely different. And now for something completely different. I don't often do terrain, so that'd be different for me anyway.
You got a shit ton of kill teams to do, ain't you?
Yeah, far too much bloody plastic Games Workshop terrain.
Right, now, where did the base go earlier that I had earlier that I didn't want to lose because it was one of Club's ones?
Yes.
Well, I'm currently rifling through the box of
La di di, I cannot see.
But you know what you need? You need a better fucking light.
I need this Pomeranian dog to have longer legs. That's what I need.
That's what she said. Or
He
was
is
that
far
childish
too
and
stunty.
crass of me? Oh, I've got some resin fucking rats to build as well. Oh god.
What's that, Min for Deadzone?
Yeah.
So what do you get in the starter then for, is it 3rd edition Deadzone starter now?
I don't know. It's an addition. You get a shit ton of terrain.
Yes, I know, but what
No,
factions?
I know. I'm showing the people at home,
Oh
dickhead.
god, sorry.
You get shit ton of like barricades, walls, all clipped together. You can make shit different. Some really nice fucking mesh paneling. Really nice mesh paneling. You get some dice. You get, I want to say, 12 vermin.
Oh, losing the
like
old headset.
The Marine Corps soldiers that are falling through my radiator because I'm a heathen. Stop falling over!
So you
Fucking
have
rat.
oh, what the hell are they called?
The Marine Corps, I don't know what they are.
Does Tim know?
Tim, help. Please. Some MDF.
Yeah, they're the
base.
human enforcers. Is it enforcers?
I don't know. Hang on. You get some tokens in the bag as well. It's triggered you, hasn't it?
Deadzone 3rd edition starter.
Look, I'm having a row. Leave me. Leave me to my stuff.
It is the enforcers. I'm 90% sure. As I zone in on it. GCPS.
Beat you to it.
Yeah, GCPS.
I know nothing.
That stands for something cool, I guess. What? Does it tell you in the book what it stands for?
Do I look like a walking encyclopedia of Mantic games?
No, you look like somebody who's got the book in your hand.
I have the box in my hand.
Right. Damn.
While I have a rattle around, is what's happening. Right. Let's not do a poll. Redgrass Games palette is safe, Paul. You'll be happy to know.
Tit.
Takes one to know one. I had a little bit of paper somewhere. There it is. Right.
Is this...
Right, okay. So, you're a GS You dick. You're a big vermin boy. You're a big vermin boy.
I don't...
Are you the other half of that?
I don't know what to do for this,
Masturbate furiously until you go blind.
I don't know what to do for colour scheme for this.
Okay, so that's basing detail. That's why I'm
Pomeranian.
confused. Actually, before I get
Need to move that, because that was in my way.
Before I get too engrossed in things, I have show and tell time as well, don't I?
I don't know, what are you showing off?
The thing you bought me.
Oh, yes, birthday time. Do you know what? We made a list of things to talk about.
And
I've got that here somewhere in front of me.
Way off.
Well, to be fair, it's all been a bit of a disaster, hasn't it? Because we've not been able to prepare the Gaslands stuff. Was anything else going on at club? Did I see somebody playing X-Wing first edition?
Yeah, you saw Trev, Kel and Jake playing X-Wing?
I do love that game. 3 of them?
So,
how were they doing that? Or did they just sort of like 2v2?
You slow fucking asshole. So, Paul, considering it was my birthday last month,
I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Some beautiful Armada dwarves. I'll try not to burn the house down, Tim. Have a nice night, mate.
What's he done?
He's having his brain's on standby, paint's drying on his brush. So he's fucking off. We're not burning our house down, and he's told us to have a nice evening.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tim. We're not burning our house down. Random.
I've got a candle on. Probably seen it.
Okay.
Then we have
Fire Safety Officer Tim.
Doesn't overexpose, which it kind of is a bit. Let's do that. That's better. There we go. Look at that. Look at the detail on this bad boy. Look at that. And then we have this one.
I couldn't remember which of the factions you said that you liked the look of, to be fair. So I did take a bit of a punt on the old dwarves.
Gorgeous stone armor on the roof. So you get 3 boats, and I've already taken the sprues off them, and we're going to start getting them ready to paint and do stuff too. But that is after I've done the building. Right. So, that's fucking US Marine Corps wankers. Whatever they are.
GCPS.
Dillygaff. Do I look like I give a fuck?
Dillygaff.
That is a fucking brilliant thing, isn't it? Do I look like I give a fuck?
Dilly. I'll be honest, I'm a massive fan of Kev. I don't like a bit of Kevin Bloody Wilson. It has to be said. Mate.
Right. Crikey. Right, what goes on what bases? It'd be handy to fucking tell me, you pricks.
Perhaps it does. In the book.
It's fucking one sheet of A4. And we just have this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this for fucking instructions. This is nearly as bad as GW show here. You have separate legs, and then you can put legs in your legs, and then you can put your arms in, and your heads, and fuck off!
Maybe, is it saying just, as long as each one's got 2 heads, 2 legs and 2 arms, 2 heads? Fucking listen to me. What a plonk.
Do I look like I give a fuck?
Billy Gaff. Careful, we might get demonetized. Not allowed to sing. Hang
Well,
on.
it's that
What am I
out
saying? We haven't been monetized yet.
with I'm that out of key, it'll make ain't no shit of difference.
That's true. Should make the most of it.
Do I look like I give a fuck? Now, I will give Mantic credit where it's due.
Go on.
The resins they're putting out at the moment are very crisp and very not full of air bubbles like a certain well-known retailer.
To be fair, you say that. I don't know if you watch much YouTube. But old Eons of Battle unpacked some Forge World resin recently, and he said that the quality was considerably up on where it had been in the past.
Oh, I wasn't on about Forge World, I was on about Shitecast, but okay.
Well, same thing, innit?
No, Shitecast is different to Forge World.
No, well, okay.
Forge World have a little bit of quality control. Give them credit where credit's due.
All the Shitecast miniatures would come out of the Forge World team.
The only thing I would say about Mantic is they are a little eager with their wells and their fucking sprue sizes. I get why, being an engineer.
What do you mean, eager with the wells and sprue sizes?
Right, hang on. This here is the piece I've just taken off. So it's a foot on a rock.
Okay.
For reference, it's probably about 30 centimeters by...
30 centimeters?
30 millimeters by about 25.
Did you say you're an engineer?
Fuck off, you This is the size of the well I just took off. Held side by side with the piece that it came off.
I see your point. That is
and
a bit excessive.
And the fucking sprue size. This is a 4.5mm drill bit that I've just used to take my Gaslands posts out.
Uh-huh.
It's smaller than the sprue! Rant over. Oh, don't even get me started on the fucking Armada ones. I had to take a razor saw to them.
Oh, dear.
Because apparently, a 10mm sprue is acceptable!
Oh, dear. Well, it's over-engineered, mate. It's future-proofed.
Fucking over-engineer you in a minute.
To be fair, it's fucking bomb-proofed. I don't know.
Oh, this is another thing. Hello, what do you want? Thank you. Fucking room service.
Yes.
We have the juice, Kimmy. You will have the drink. For those people that are F1 fanboys. But no, in here, there we go. You'll see that shit now. Look between all them fucking toes, Paul. Look at the egregious piece of resin that I've got to take out the fucking bottom there.
Oh, holy shit. Is that a VM in?
Yeah.
Do you have to take it out? Or could you just sort of paint it as mud or something? Put it in the basing material?
I'm gonna take it out because I'm not a heathen. And to be fair, it is only like 1mm thick resin, so it is just put your scalpel blade inside and flick and it comes out.
Yeah, just don't break the toes off.
Well, if I do break the toes off, it's characterful.
Crippled, but characterful.
Do I look like I give a fuck? Dillygaff! No, I don't really.
I couldn't give a rodent's rectum, mate.
Well, it's funny you say about rodent's rectum because I'm gonna get up there in a minute.
What?
You get the joke now.
Yeah.
I'm doing vermin. You slow motherfucker.
I was for a minute. I was like, what? And then I realised, yeah, he's building VMN.
This is egregious. This is egregious.
Oh my god. So that support or sprue is thicker than the arm that's going to come out of that socket eventually, I'm assuming.
There's not actually a socket. It's just flat.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I feel that that's razor saw jobby. But fuck it.
Why?
We shall attack it with a pair of snips further down and hope for the best. I mean, the resin does feel quite brittle, but then all resins do. So
I don't know if perhaps they're not paying enough for their resin.
Yeah, or they don't like a high reject rate and therefore they oversize the sprues so that they never get a short shot. Hence the massive wells as well.
True.
So how's your escapades into hobby going at the moment?
To be fair, I was thinking today my motivation is waning a bit at the moment. I'm feeling a little bit drained.
Why is that?
I don't know, is the honest answer. I guess it's like everything. Sometimes things goes in fits and starts. And I mean, I've been on a hobby high for a good few months. It's inevitable that it turns.
Since Christmas, we've been on a hobby high, really, haven't we?
Yep. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling that it's, waning a bit. And as I say, no particular reason, it just is. But my sort of plan to deal with it is basically just push on through. It's what I said, I've got this strategy, have a project, stick with the project and push on through. So I've still got several of my Dungeons and Doggos to do. So while they're doing...
This is the knife I'm about to use to trim supports, and I'm going to put a brand new blade in it.
Right, looks fairly heavy duty.
Yeah, I shouldn't have to be using a Stanley to trim models up.
Yeah, possibly a little overkill.
Oh, I didn't tell you about the day I forgot to take my blade to club, or my knife to club to sort out miniatures.
Right.
I took the spare blades with me. Completely forgot to take the knife and the handle.
Okay, did that stop you?
No.
Yeah. I'm not... Why am I not surprised?
Right. Oh, actually, putting a brand new blade in was a good shout. And it also means that when I eventually do slip, the cut is cleaner for the doctors to stitch back together.
Let's put the old... See if we can light that a little better. See if everyone can see how we're doing. So we're going with Vallejo dark blue, I think it is. On the jacket.
Now, Ginge. Just hold what you're doing up to the camera.
Lighting is terrible.
Yeah.
And we've got a golden brown on that necklace thing.
Ooh,
of like carved balls.
That's a monk, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's got a really weird... It's got like a jacket with fur ruffs round the sleeves.
It sounds very...
It's
What's the word? Odd?
Yeah, it's very oddly dressed, to be fair. It's got like a necklace of massive spherical beads round its neck.
A necklace of anal beads?
Yeah, well, they certainly look the part.
Fucking Scanlan!
Yeah. So, what do you think? On a blue jacket, gold. Oh, it's Prussian blue, everybody, not dark blue. What do
You need
what?
your old ice testing, boy.
Oh, tell you what. Whoa! Before we get carried away with that, we need to paint. He's actually got a hoop of these bloody things round his back as well.
I had a sudden panic then because I dragged my Stanley blade over a surface, and then there was a load of material that came away, and I was like, have I just taken a big chunk of the model away? No, it was just a big bit of flash. Phew. Yeah. Children at home, if you're watching, you shouldn't be watching anyway.
That is fair.
This stream is rated adult. And secondly, children at home, don't follow in my footsteps for preparing miniatures, because you will end up injured, you will end up in hospital, and you will probably end up with the doctor stitching your fingers back.
What are you doing? Currently pressing the blade hard against your thigh?
Like literally right against my fingertip.
Oh, it could be worse. I mean,
yeah, but not in a direction that will take my fingertip clean off. In a direction that will cut down through the tendons in my hand.
Oh, right. Well, that's good. Always nice to live on the edge, I say.
And then,
so...
no, and usually I'm clumsy and drop things, so therefore I don't tend to do things above my thigh anymore. I've had too many close calls.
As I say, I think everybody who watched last week's show gets the gist of me and fucking disaster movies with the old wet palette.
Your high quality wet palette.
Yeah.
How is that high quality wet palette? Is it still wet?
To be fair, it doesn't function half bad. It's just hideously scarred.
It's like you then.
Yeah. It functions. Just about.
Barely. Okay, feel I've picked up the empty super glue, which is a mistake number 1 of the evening. So.
Oh, that's... Oh, Christ. That's not what I thought it was.
Is anyone else here? Do I look like a... Oh, that's just fucking going through my head and my head and my head. I'm going to have to go put some music on in a second to get rid of that shit.
Down, 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 down.
Why are you doing like the 118 thing?
Nah, that's another Kevin Bloody Wilson, isn't it?
I don't know.
Da -da -da, da -da -da. Don't ask me which one, but I just do know that little melody from the beginning of it.
I have a feeling I should probably pin this.
What is it?
Big rat boy.
Oh, right, is it some sort of large feature model?
It is...
Just pardon me, everybody, while I just pop to my web browser.
It is the hero, apparently. Not the hero you knew you wanted.
Jesus, this is a paint job. It's a better paint job than I can do. I'm telling you.
Fucking... Oh, that's a leg, is it? Okay, I'm like, why the fuck's his hand here? Turns out it's his fucking kneecap. Because you don't need that right now. Right. So we've covered what we've done this week.
Yeah, I was just about to look at the list, actually.
Yeah, because as daft as it seems, we're a fucking hour in already.
So,
nearly.
Gasland, we're joking. Oh, we are, coming up. So, yeah, you talked about your Gaslands game, painting competition, my Malifaux game, you're showing off your Armada. One of the things that came up that I watched, I mentioned it to you yesterday, but was Pleasant Kenobi on YouTube has got he did a video this week about the 40k competitive meta, and it was a less than flattering assessment. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't, but I can imagine the fucking dumpster fire that was being a Pleasant Kenobi video, because
yeah, he does like his expletives. He's a very expressive individual, particularly when it comes to 4-letter words. But
fuck.
Yeah, but it was quite a good video in that he focused on basically the Custodes and the Tau, who are running, I think, at 70% win rates in competitive reported events.
Yeah.
And he was saying, because obviously he comes from a Magic the Gathering background, it's just shit. You can't have two factions in a meta with win rates that high. He plays Custodes, so I mean, he wasn't sort of making the video from the point of, I'm salty because I never win. He said, by his own admission, he's only been playing 40k again. He was into it, and then he went out of it, and now he's been back into it again. But a few years, maybe. But he went to an event and came third, just because he was playing Custodes.
Yeah.
Not because he's particularly good.
Just because shit's broken.
Yeah, and he's, But obviously, it was one of those things where I saw the video and I thought of you.
Yeah, I mean, week one, I might have pulled my punches a little bit about 40k.
week one, he may have misled the audience.
40k is a fucking dumpster fire. There we go, I said it.
9th edition is the devil's game.
No. Let's put it like this. If you like playing a game with a ton of options, but only 4 of them are actually valid and actually useful for every army, and there's however many armies there is now, and you go and play competitively, and you've got to go learn all these shitty shenanigans where stratagems completely flip how a unit works, yeah, 40k is the game for you. If you want to play a nice game, friendly game, a narrative game, go buy fucking Gaslands, go buy fucking Frost, go buy any other game than fucking GW products.
Oh,
there. Well, no, actually,
no.
yeah.
Underworlds?
Yeah, Underworlds and Blood Bowl. Yeah, but again, this is the thing. The mainline games are too sacred for GW to fix.
Yeah, but you just said don't go buy a GW game. I was just calling you out that there are some GW games that we've quite enjoyed in the very recent past.
Yeah, I mean, again, I do own 5 Underworlds factions and now 2 Blood Bowl army teams.
I mean, I think your clarification is warranted. I mean, we were talking 9th edition is bloated and broken, and it's got massive balance issues.
And And it all boils down to click clack math rocks.
Yeah, that's. I'm less anti that because
You've always been less anti that though, because even when
it's a game design choice. Do you know what I mean?
I get the game design choice, but again, the point I'm trying to make here is if you give a player agency to be tactical about something, like certain games, like fucking Infinity, DZC, other stuff. Really well balanced games, really well balanced units, but there's tactical decisions and play orders to be made. Bolt action, exactly the same. Or you take the bloated approach of let's give our players agency, and I use that word in the loosest sense of the word agency, because here's 15 or 20, however many fucking stratagems you have now. And rather than in 8th edition them being like once per game and they're big and they're powerful, now it's, oh, we've just got 1 billion command points. Just fucking spam the same one every single turn.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it? That you might have 75 or 80 stratagems in all of the 3 source books you run in tonight, but only 4 of them are worth playing. I think that's certainly a criticism that people level. You know, there's so many stratagems, why would you waste the time doing them? You know, they're just objectively not worth it. And that seems a little silly. Why have them in the first place?
Again, I'm going to hold my hands up and say, I don't necessarily have the nicest 40k armies to play against when we used to play against them. Salamanders, so everything's flamers and melters coming out of its arse, and Vulcan is, or was at least in 8th edition, with his 6-inch aura, a little broken. And Tau. And not just Tau, like fully mechanized Tau, 6 suits, the 3 stealth suits, a Ghost Keel, a Storm Surge, a Riptide, 2 Hammerheads, the Sunshark Bomber, sniper drones. Like, again, I build fluffy lists, like my theme behind my Tau was a mechanized infantry unit, and obviously you need some forward spotters and scouts to assist in that role. And no breachers, more like a rifleman squad from the US to counteract the. I have flamers, and back in the days when templates were a thing, I'm pushing these flamers down your throat as quickly as they'll go. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So they aren't necessarily the nicest armies to play against, but I've not played them for 2 years, and I'm not really missing them, is the honest answer.
Yeah,
I know you've played some 9e, but again,
I've only played one game, and I didn't not enjoy it. I found it a bit frustrating because it was quite plodding. The pace was off. But I did my homework. I researched which 3 stratagems were worth playing for my Necron list. I went to Orgaus and then played both stratagems at every opportunity for auto 6s, 6s auto wound and 6s generate extra hits and blah fucking blah. And I did sort of enjoy it.
Were you winning?
Yeah, but again, it was a bit of a crushing win because Patrick's sisters were struggling a bit. So it wasn't a particularly satisfying. There was no tension there. It was
it wasn't a close game.
No, not at all.
It was a fucking table martyr.
Yeah, it was a bit one-sided, and they're never the most fun games, whichever side you're on, the winner or the loser, I find. But I mean, again, there are spaces within the game for decisions to be impactful, and there is room for players to play a game.
Is
But
that playing bunny ears?
No, I'm not as hard on it as you. But there is definitely a case of there would be more impactful decisions would be there if there was more balance within the units, and if some of the stuff got out of the way, like the horrendous flood of special rules, so things generating auras and their own built-in rerolls, and oh my god, just exhausting.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. Now we flogged that dead horse.
So yeah, when I saw the video, I did very much think of you, but in true Pleasant Kenobi fashion, he does put his message across. He does put his point across very well. I think, which, and it's not arguable. They keep doing this. They keep issuing new codexes without restraint. Just trying to push. Mate.
Well, I mean, you only have to look at the fucking Custodes Codex. I know, obviously, we've been in a pandemic. There's been delays because of global shipping and everything else. Because fuck me, does that shit affect me at work?
Oh.
But the Custodes Codex was released. 2 days later, they had to release a free download upgrade for it because it was already hit by the balance thing.
Yeah, that's it. He does comment on that in his video, saying that GW's reasoning was that, well, it was balanced for a meta that didn't exist, blah, fucking blah, because they then nerfed the Dark Eldar and Drakari. So, like, the points that they'd put on it didn't make any sense, and it's just like, why? Why?
That's the thing. They feel to be constantly playing catch up. Do you know what I mean?
And the truth of it is, I think, mate, that they are. And it's because they keep making terrible design decisions with their game.
And actually, we tell a lie. Because there was a period that we enjoyed 40k.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant game to play. And that was when all the indexes were out, because everything was balanced, because it was such a new edition and such a change and breath of fresh air that nothing was off the table. Do you know what I mean? Everything was balanced to a degree. And then the power creep started because codexes.
I'm sure there's an element of rose tinted there. I'm sure if we went back and looked with a critical eye and, played a ton of index 40k just to see what was really going on, I'm sure we could find ways to break it or make it a chore. But I think the fact that the data slates were so thin on detail made the whole thing so less fragile.
there was no wiggle room because there physically wasn't. There wasn't loopholes you could drive a bus through.
Yeah, no, there weren't.
Because everything got hit with the same hard reset hammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Well, seeing as we've started down this salty road, we'll go on the next stop on the salt train. We're gonna go to Kickstarter.
Yeah, let's have a bit of a rant. So let me put all these tabs in order. Those are all the ones you wanted to talk about, and then that was something that you wanted to talk about. So
Actually, yeah, let's start off with the good of Kickstarter this week. Flatline City, second wave, fully funded now, is on its stretch goals.
no, don't start there. Ugh, Jesus, hang on a minute then. If we're doing this sort of stuff, we need to script and be organised, because I can't do that sort of stuff on the fly, not while running OBS. So,
right, okay.
Hang on.
Where were you going then? Let's go with where you were going first.
Well, no, you're on the direct. So, tell everybody about Flatline City. Second wave, yeah.
So, Flatline City, second wave. I'm going to back it later this week. There is, what I say, there's at least another 130, 140 odd buildings now that they've got on there on the list.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of terrain for the price you're paying. It's really good for Infinity. It'd be really good for Necromunda or even Kill Team to a degree.
You reckon it would work?
I reckon it works because there's all the gantries, the oil acid vats, the comms towers. There's all that stuff in this set. So set one, they've listened to the customer feedback, and the customer feedback is that whilst we love set one and set one is okay, we would have liked some buildings that were different shapes.
So yeah, not just rectangles
and hexagons and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
they've listened. Most of this set is now shaped in one form or another. So it's
just not some species of cube.
Yeah, it's not all cuboid. The other thing I know you said about the set one's obviously got quite an oriental theme. It's got like a lot of oriental style roofs and other stuff.
It did remind me of that sort of Shinjuku.
And they have changed that now so that it has not got I know Ricky. Ricky's arrived.
Evening, Ricky.
But yeah, the roofs are now flatter and that kind of thing. There's a load more signage, other stuff, beautiful. I mean, have you scrolled through it at all on screen, Paul? Just the campaign a bit further down.
No, hang on.
Because I just was greeted with the Kickstarter, and that's the thing. Now then, Ricky, what have you been up to? While the old man scrolls.
Oh yeah, this is what you're saying about them not being square. So you got crosses, L, hex.
Yeah.
Rounds. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Well, again, it just adds a bit of variety to the table as well. Particularly if you back the first set.
Okay, and then it's all very, very modular. So you got floors, walls, accessory rings, roofs,
signage that just clips in, gantries
and it just stacks.
Yeah.
However you want.
Some bases in there as a stretch goal. There's a fair bit.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. It's good value. It's good quality. It's all right.
Yeah, it's a bit less sort of Blade Runner this look, isn't it? It's a bit more,
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
generic,
cyberpunk,
rundown.
really. Yeah. Oh, he's packing up because the builder's meant to be coming in. Fair enough, Chuck.
Is that Ricky?
Yeah. For his cupboard. Yeah, there's some new pipelines. There's some good stuff in there from the looks of it. There's even like some 20-foot containers turned into housing and bits and pieces as well. So it's a nice enough set for the price you pay. And it's relatively quick to deliver if it's anything like the first. Because it's, again, a digital Kickstarter. Where are we going from here, Paul? What are we going into next?
Well,
what do we fancy?
As I say, the whole thing that kicked off Kickstarter for me this week was Scythopian Wars. So, if I go here... Now, you and I encountered this game at
UKGE.
UK Games Expo. And we sort of played it, played their test game, didn't we? And
yeah, played the test game, signed up to their Facebook page for updates, etc., because it was coming to Kickstarter in February.
I mean, Facebook was where I saw the news first, because I don't really follow stuff, perhaps as much as I should. So I saw the news on Facebook first. But yeah, it was like, they've cancelled. And I was like, what? Why would you do that?
And
they were literally what they... 6829 of a 7,000 goal. They're less than 100, 200 quid off. And I was like, what?
Why is that?
So I went over and then I read the cancellation comment, because unlike a certain other Kickstarter, they actually did put a public comment as to why they've cancelled. But maybe we'll come to that.
Cross that bridge in a minute, because I have fucking words to say about that.
So, and basically, I think the gist of it was that they were concerned that they were getting a lot of click-throughs and traffic and views and not converting it to people who were backing the Kickstarter. And they'd obviously had some feedback, because where is it here in this comment?
There wasn't enough.
We will take our feedback. Combined with their inability to convert thousands of views to our page into pledges, has brought us to the conclusion that our offer is simply not to the standard backers are looking for. So, and then here, like, you see this next comment I would make as a almost sarcastic remark. Although we intended this as a beginning, it has become apparent that many in the Kickstarter community require more content, exclusives, add-ons, stretch goals. And this brings us to what annoyed me massively about this.
It was a good game.
Not only that, whether their game was good or not, the thing that's annoying is that this tells you something about what Kickstarter has become. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the point of Kickstarter was to allow a small company or individual to put something to market that they would struggle to do any other way.
Yes.
And essentially, these people have come up with a small-scale boxed war game. They were looking for a pledge of around 75 quid, which seems a perfectly reasonable price point for a comparable product.
34 minis from memory?
We played the game and enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not saying every war game is not for every player by every stretch. That's not the point. But And they as much as said this obviously isn't what Kickstarter's for. What Kickstarter is for, and what people want to see on Kickstarter, is a project that's got stretch goals out the wazoo. You have a core pledge, 5,000 add-ons, a god pledge of $600. Do you know what I mean?
And it all unlocks as a fucking continuous train as you're going through.
Exactly. And essentially you can keep logging on for a 3-month orgasm as you watch it build to some explosive peak of orgy of capitalist indulgence. And it just absolutely fucking depressed me. Because
again,
I think they're right. I'll be brutally honest. I do think they're right.
They were asking, what was it, 40 quid for the army set, and that got you 10. I want to say 14, 15 minis, something like that, if not slightly more. That was like baseline. So an army set was that pledge level, and there was 2 armies for it. Then their all-in pledge was the 2-player starter set, which is 34 minis from memory, 75 quid, some cardboard terrain, and it's basically what we played at UKGE, except that the minis we played with at UKGE were 3D printed, not the molded ones that they were on about doing. So in the grand scheme of things, tiny little bit of semantics there. 2 lads from Yorkshire. From memory, one of them did digital art and stuff as a day job. The other worked in, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but he worked, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a side hustle project for them. They've been developing the game for years. They've had some really good feedback. They had the demo game at UKGE. It was well received. The Facebook page has been active enough with people saying, "Oh, when you're going live," and that kind of thing, and looking forward to seeing this because obviously we saw it at UKGE or we played it at UKGE, etc. It's been a active community. And then you get the kick in your teeth of cancelling a Kickstarter because it isn't what people want, because it doesn't have extra minis or extra unlocks or whatever. Now, we briefly had this conversation last night. I am of the opinion, because of what Kickstarter has become, there is a thing about giving something to your first pledges before it's gone to retail. So whether that be a 1 or 2 Kickstarter exclusive minis. I'm not asking for fucking 150 stretch goals that are Kickstarter exclusive.
I will give you this.
Because at the end of the day, you're part of the community that's brought, particularly for like a new game, you've brought that game to life. You've put down your cold hard cash into building that game.
Yeah.
So there is that aspect of it.
Yeah.
However,
and it doesn't have to be anything massive.
No.
It can literally be something almost insignificant. A single mini, could even be a custom dice set. But the concept of saying this is a Kickstarter exclusive,
and B,
is like, I will give you that. That is not a problem in and of itself, and I wouldn't take up pitchforks and burning torches to decry that and bring it down. As a principle.
I am sensing a however coming.
No, but as I say, what you've discussed is fine. But that isn't what they were obviously getting feedback that people wanted.
Yeah. So we then come to the next elephant in the room and another Kickstarter that was cancelled this week. Umbrella Academy, the board game from Mantic and Dark Horse Comics.
I would at this point use my browser to go to that Kickstarter page and show everybody. But as there's no fucking comment about why they cancelled it, do you know what? I'm not going to bother. If you don't want to tell us, we won't go and look.
This has been going on since 2019. It's been constantly teased, everything else. Fuck me, Mantic have even got the molds for stuff because they've fucking got hard plastic stuff that they've been showing off and demonstrating. And I think the pledge period on it was fucking 2 weeks or something. Something small. Again, it's from a company. 4 days in, it's been fucking cancelled and pulled. Are you still there, Paul?
Yes, mate. Yeah, I am listening intently to your crucifixion of Mantic.
4 days in, the fucking Kickstarter's been cancelled. It's been covered at the fucking weekend on Tabletop. An entire session denoted to this Kickstarter and the game that's being released.
Yeah, I think it was Saturday's show, because they do a Kickstarter section in the Saturday show where they actually talk about...
fucking cancelled.
Evening, Dan.
Evening,
if you're still here. Yeah. I mean, again, not great timing, really.
And then to add insult to injury, if you were intrigued, you've got to back it first so that you can see the back of comments, even though it's cancelled.
Yeah. Which you can't now do because it's cancelled. So, state secret.
So that's egregious thing number one. Egregious thing number two is fucking companies using Kickstarter as a fucking platform to do customer research.
Yeah, and this is where I am entirely 100% with you. Why are all these massive companies on Kickstarter? If you're a multi-million pound company, in terms of your turnover, if not your profits, why are you on Kickstarter? You know, why are you not developing products in a more conventional way? You know, with, you know, things like market research and development and, you know, in-house
Games
teams.
design.
You know, why is everything being buffered or cushioned by Kickstarter? Why are we using it as a
filter
training wheel to protect people from really terrible business decisions? I don't get it. And I'll be honest, if it hadn't have been for the Scythopian Wars thing, I probably wouldn't have cared. But I think both of these issues, I think you would probably agree, David, these issues are interconnected, aren't they?
Yeah, so you've got companies that have got hours and hours of each and every fucking day to pump out all this fucking pledge level and extra bullshit. Yeah?
Yeah.
All these upgrades and Kickstarter exclusives and rewards and pledge goals and whatever. Fine. You fucking do that. And I will admit, I'm probably guilty of it because I backed League of Infamy last year or the year before and it turned up last year and it's a good game.
To be fair, I've never backed a Mantic Kickstarter, but I've bought plenty of Mantic products, so it's not a principal thing for me, it's just a coincidence.
And I would argue that the Kickstarter exclusive for Dwarf King's Quest, whilst you can pick it up in stores, isn't necessarily as well covered as all of the other Mantic products, Deadzone, Kings of War, all the other stuff that everyone raves about. So I can kind of understand for League of Infamy that they put it on Kickstarter to filter it, if you will, if that's the word we're going to use, to filter it and make sure that it was commercially viable. Fucking backed it because it was a shit ton of D&D miniatures. I quite liked Dwarf King's Quest, and it's basically playing Dwarf King's Quest as a bunch of bad guys. So the premise seems good enough.
I take it it is available as a Mantic core product to buy from their web store and that, is it? Because I'll be honest, I haven't looked.
It is now, I believe.
That's
because
fine.
It's gone to market.
That's fine.
But then I went and did a bit of digging last night. Obviously, after Mantic had cancelled the Dark Horse Comics Umbrella Academy one, they have done a lot of Kickstarters. They have done a lot of Kickstarters, including one for Kings of War 2nd edition.
Yeah, which takes the piss, I think.
It's like, hang on a minute, you've already got a IP here, you've already got all the fucking mods for it, what the fuck are you actually doing with your life?
Well, you know, again, why are we generating a shit ton of cash to fund this? You know, first edition was a success, the game was very widely well received. You're planning a 2nd edition, just do it. Just fucking put out a 2nd edition.
Pull the trigger on it, grow a pair of balls and fucking get on with it.
You know, and the thing is, again, we discussed this, Kickstarter is for companies who cannot convince people to lend them money to do the product development and the initial stocking and the launch. Now, I would have been fucking shocked if the reality of it was that Mantic couldn't have gone to a bank and got a loan to fucking launch Kings of War 2nd edition if that's what it took. Are you telling me?
I mean,
because I got my little skeptics hat on there.
Yeah, I mean, there is a thing. An Assassin's Creed Kickstarter. This is another example. 2019, backed it at the low pledge level. And ahed with you about going all in on it for 18 months while it was going through.
Yeah.
Because of the COVID pandemic, everything got delayed. Everything didn't ship. And then when it was shipping, it was at 3 times the price that obviously they'd calculated for the Kickstarter. So therefore, they said, look, if you don't want your pledge, don't pay the extra towards shipping, we'll refund you. Pay the extra towards shipping, you get your pledge. And I backed it, and it turned up, and it's fucking insane what you got for your money.
Yeah, I agree with you. As somebody who missed the Kickstarter and then went to buy them aftermarket at retail price, it's like, oh my god, that Kickstarter was good value.
But there was a shit ton of stretch goals throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, what did you make it? 15?
15 at initial count, and that wasn't including all of the things that are related to like scenarios for the courtesans and all the other bullshit. So
Jesus,
probably closer to 50 by the time you've added all that up.
Not 15. Yeah, well, there you go.
So that's scenario 1. Scenario 2. I'm by trade a design engineer. I can CAD stuff up, make stuff, whatever. There is a lot of people now that have these skills that are either self-taught and they're doing it as a hobby and they're part-time and they're doing it for the mini war games, or little design studios where there's like 3 or 4 guys just doing files for 3D printing. And most of the Kickstarters I've backed have been for 3D print files. Keita's minis, prime example. I think it ended in 2020. It was €20 and it got you a metric shit ton of 3D printed files for D&D scatter, Frostgrave scatter, tabletop scatter. Make your battlefields come alive or something like that was the tagline to it. Models are good quality. I've printed some of them for myself and they're all right. And again, I backed it on the basis of, oh, fuck it, it's 20 quid. Like, for a shit ton of files, I don't mind, kind of thing. But there was a load of pledge files in it. And this is the next point that we actually come to, isn't it, Paul? That giving people Kickstarter exclusives or all these unlockable stretch goals with a digital product like STL files is easy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of extra work sculpting,
Well,
printing,
yeah, it's
testing.
easier than the logistics of manufacture.
Of all the extra stock and everything else that you have for manufacturing. So I kind of get the extra stretch goals on digital products that are being delivered.
To be fair, though,
but even then it's egregious.
Well, to be fair, the other side of the coin, and I wouldn't really know whether this is a thing or not, as I do not back, follow, or have any interest in digital Kickstarter campaigns or digital product Kickstarter campaigns. With a digital product campaign, your options as to what to offer aren't huge, are they?
No, it's.
Do you want another digital product? You know, it's like
Again, the Fuel Worlds one, you had all in, which was €40 that I've paid this morning.
Yes.
As a late pledge. You had biker gangs, war rig, weapons, and I think they were €15-20 each. So basically, it was all in, get everything for €40, or pay €10 to €15 and get individual gangs that are all part of the all in. Okay, I'll fucking go all in. And then the only other level you've got is all of those at a commercial level for the people that are printing commercially, which is not something I'm interested in at all.
Yeah. And that's just really you paying extra for your license.
Yeah, you're paying extra for your license so that you can print and make money off them, which, again, not bad, but like, how many do you need kind of thing. However, there is still another elephant in the room. PrintableScenery.com. And most of these digital STL Kickstarters, they fund, and you get your deliveries within a month, 2 months, really, on some of them.
Yeah.
Printable Scenery do a lot of concept art, and I know it's a small studio, but they are one of the biggest 3D print file sellers on the market, where obviously you do all your pledges, that kind of thing. There's a fucking billion stretch goals that you unlock throughout it, and then you have to sit around and wait. And rather than just say, right, we'll wait for everything to be done and then just drop all of it onto the website so that it's hosted and people can download it, they do little fucking filter drips. So you get a file this week on a Friday, you get a file that week on a Friday, you get a file the other week on a Friday. It's like, fuck off. I can't remember what I have and haven't downloaded. Particularly if you have a light and you're doing
is this something that they do at the end then?
Yeah, this is some of the Printable Scenery are building stuff after and designing stuff after off the concept art and that kind of thing. But still, the Hagglethorn Hollow one, they fucking reverse engineered and scanned all of the Hagglethorn Hollow scenery and then made it more 3D printable if it required changes. Which, okay, that does take time. But why the fuck did that take ages to deliver?
What do you mean they reverse engineered them? Were they not originally STL products then?
No, they were hand sculpted.
Okay.
OG Hagglethorn Hollow was hand sculpted, then cast in resin and whatnot.
Okay.
They had access to the masters, 3D scan them and turn them into 3D prints.
Right. Okay. Again, why not just do it? I don't understand why you would kickstart that.
No, that's what I mean. It's already well received enough in the community anyway. Anyone that's got a fucking 3D printer is going to want to buy it and print it anyway, if they're into that kind of thing.
Were people buying the Hagglethorn Hollow stuff as precast resin pieces?
I believe so, and it was an arm and a leg.
But it was selling.
Yeah.
So yeah. Duh. What? You see, again, I just think that's ridiculous. I don't understand even why Kickstarter would have been employed in that instance. For reasons other than cynicism. You know, just to use it. And I think, to be fair, that the elephant in the room, as you used the phrase earlier, is that they're using this platform to generate a buzz.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm guilty of it.
They're using it as a media tool.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it. I will go and sit on Kickstarter occasionally and scroll and just see what's recommended for me based on what I've backed and what I'm doing. And it's an enjoyable experience. And there's stuff that I tend to pull and go, oh, look at this. This is cool. Or, oh, look at this. This is pretty. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to back it. I'm just looking at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm using it as fucking eye candy or like Instagram to a degree of just, oh, look at this. This is cool. And again, like the Gaslands one, I saw it. I said to a couple of lads at club, like, oh, this is cool that we're playing Gaslands. But because I hadn't played any Gaslands myself at that point, I didn't start playing it. Or I didn't pledge for it because I hadn't tried the game. And I didn't want to commit the price to a game that I'd never tried.
Yeah.
Therefore, played some Gaslands now, was in the market for some 3D printed bits for doing and converting. And just messaged them on a whim and go, look, I can't see a late pledge option on your Kickstarter. Can I late pledge it? Apparently, you can't late pledge shit on the Kickstarter app on your mobile phone. So,
yeah.
Kickstarter, what the fuck?
Yeah, whenever I've late pledged, it's always been through some other platform.
Desktop, or desktop.
No, I was going to say I've never done a late pledge through Kickstarter. I've done 2 late pledges, and they were both like third-party platforms where you click through to somebody else.
Like
Assassin's Creed used Crowdox, didn't they, for a while?
Yes, because I must have linked that to you about 3 times going, you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it.
Well, no, to be fair, it was actually embedded as a link on my mobile homepage. Because, again, I would have backed that Kickstarter if I'd have had the money.
Yeah, I know, mate, I know.
And as I said before, I have backed epic Kickstarters. I mean, I missed out on Assassin's Creed, but I did Gotham City Chronicles. I backed massive Kickstarter. You got the board game, a gazillion expansions, 470,000 million minis, more game than you'll ever play in 2 lifetimes. I backed A Song of Ice and Fire. Again, Mythic Battles Pantheon. I mean, A Song of Ice and Fire, again. Short of a few quid, are you, Simon? Really? Don't seem to be.
And it's a massive IP as well. It's not even.
I mean, fuck off. I don't know. Cynic. To be fair to them, at least they haven't done the piss take of go back to Kickstarter for every single fucking release they've released afterward. It's been like, nah, this game's successful, just sell it, it'll be fine. You know, so they did actually know when to stop taking the piss. So maybe there were legitimate reasons. Maybe the cost of the license was so high.
They wanted to
make sure it was fucking, you know, rubber stamped.
And I mean,
but as I say,
Critical Role is actually a good example of using Kickstarter here. For, I think, the most funded video-based Kickstarter ever.
Yeah.
For
their animated series.
And the animated series.
Yeah.
Now, that I do kind of get, because it's, it's a small outfit, and the community absolutely fucking loves them. So, why not? If they came back now, Amazon have pledged to give them some more money and do a second season, I would be very fucking dubious.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I mean, I didn't back it anyway when it was up and about, but the point still stands of, hang on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't back it either, but that's because I'm not particularly interested in
animated or
Critical Role, frankly. But yeah, and again, watching an animated series about something that I'm not particularly interested in is well down the spectrum of, you know, engagement for me.
No, yeah, I know that, mate. It was more just the point I was trying to make of that is a situation where I can completely understand
I know, I'd agree with you entirely. That animated series will have made them multimillionaires. So do you know what? If you want a second season, just have a word with Amazon or Netflix. Get them to put the cash up. Do you know what I mean? You don't need Kickstarter.
No. And if you do need Kickstarter, you need to have a word with yourself.
Well, if you do need Kickstarter, don't do it. Because if it wasn't successful enough the first time you did it, it's not going to be successful enough second time round either. So you're just wasting everybody's money. I'm afraid would be my assessment. But
so yeah, now I've had my rant about egregious things in the community and in the hobby.
As I say, I hope that Scythopian Wars makes a return. I wish those guys the best. Because I really enjoyed their game. It had some lovely touches with the way the activation. It had got a lot of elements of Infinity in it, which I think I did comment on it at the time to them.
And bolt action. With the alternating activations.
Yeah, there's a lot of the games that do alternating activations. The Infinity link was the fact that you could play multiple order dice on the same unit. That's very Infinity.
So Infinity it hurts.
And the reaction. So like your opponent places an order dice on unit X, and you can then immediately choose to place an order dice as a reaction dice on unit Y, or keep your powder dry and just have an activation next without it being a reactivation.
Have the weighting in your favour.
Yeah. So, as I say, there were those elements to it which I thought were really nice and really made the game, worth looking at. The unit rules and rules overhead in terms of the different models, etc., didn't seem scary. You know,
No, it wasn't. It wasn't egregious, was it?
I mean, you compare it to some other fucking abortions that we may have mentioned tonight.
Which fucking one?
With, you know, every unit has 50 special rules. So, excuse me, I've just got 10 minutes to sit and read all these data sheets. Yeah, you're fine. But yeah, as I say, I hope they come back bigger and better. And, well, they'll have to, won't they? Because that's what Kickstarter wants. More, more, more.
That's the thing. People fucking vying for blood. But I will say this actually, Paul. Stretch goals only seem to be a thing in the fucking miniatures community.
Yeah. I think they are a miniature wargaming thing. I mean, board games do have them to some degree, but I don't think they're as fucking ridiculous.
Or egregious.
Although, sometimes with the expansions and the special minis, and they can get a bit fucking stupid in board games, thinking about it. It can get a bit out of hand.
What I'm saying is, it's more a drawback of the tabletop community and the wargaming community than it is of Kickstarter itself as a platform.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I see your point. Yeah, maybe our weird little
niche
industry has just become a dysfunctional beast on Kickstarter, and like, if you're kickstarting, I don't know,
a recipe book or
a backpack,
video or
yeah, it's probably not as fucking retarded
or egregious.
Yeah, that is a valid point, actually. I think you've just brought that round to a nice little, that capstone comment. It makes the entire conversation pretty much redundant, because you could be bang on the money that actually, you know, it's us that's the problem. Wargamers, collectors, obsessives, you know.
The crowd. So, we're 10 minutes before the end of the show, Paul.
Yeah, we are.
What's the plans for next week? I need to get Armada box actually a second. So, while you do that, I'm going to get the Armada box.
I don't know, to be fair. Do you know what? I really want to... What's today? Thursday. Let me see if I can... I think my plan for next week will be to try and get rid of these dogs so that I can move on to something else. And the thing I'd like to move on to, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to, is my Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
I'd really like to start working on that. I really would like to start working on that, actually. The more I think about it,
the more you want to do it.
Yeah. Because I've got some hankering to actually play. And I think the solo play mode could be quite good fun. Quite, good distracting way to spend an evening.
Well, that's fucking annoying. Oh! Mantic. Make your Armada cards smaller. They don't fit in a fucking sleeve.
Oh, they're not standard...
Oh, no, boy.
So
do you want to know the other thing? TT Combat. Make your fucking commander cards smaller because they don't fit in a standard sleeve.
Ooh! Now, I didn't know that. Because I've got a few of those upstairs that I haven't sleeved.
For reference, that shit relative to my hands.
Right. What's that? The Armada card?
Yeah. all of the unit cards. So they're getting redone at fucking MTG size.
What are you going to do? Scan them?
Yep.
That's bullshit, man.
Do you want to know what's even more bullshit? Let me find the fucking commander card, the drop zone commander cards.
Have you got a sleeve there to show the difference?
Yeah, I have in a second. Fuck it, I don't know where my open pack is, so we'll open a new pack.
I need
Doesn't
some.
matter.
I don't know what to do on colours for this dog. I need
I'll
some
give you
help.
some advice after.
I need some help.
One standard Voltex MTG sleeve that fits all of the Underworld minis.
Yep.
Armada card.
Oh shit! It's not even close.
No.
That's berserk. They are some big ass cards.
DZC commander card for the command rules that you need to have to play.
Yeah.
One MTG sleeve. It does fit width-wise. Mildly fucking irritating and triggering. It doesn't fit.
And the thing with those cards, I'm correct if I'm wrong, don't you use them like a deck?
Yes, you do, and you draw from it. When you
That is
shuffle it.
so bullshit. Let's see how bad the lighting is on the mini cam here. Can we do?
Do you want to know the other bullshit thing? Can't double sleeve it with these sleeves because they're too long. Like the card, because of the width of the sleeve, I can't double sleeve it to make it work.
Right.
Because
Great.
the one sleeve won't fit inside
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
sleeve.
I know what you mean. Put one over the top and then one over the bottom sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
Triggered.
no, can't do that. Well,
Underworlds all work beautifully.
But not that.
But no, not Drop Zone Commander. And definitely not Armada.
Apologies to everybody, but I can't like that mini any better than that.
Oh, hang on. Let's go have a look then, shall we?
And it's not the best, but...
He's a little bit ginger.
Yeah, he is. Obviously, he's going to be Pomeranian, that very pale... Red, yeah. We're going to go back in and mute all that. But he's got, I don't know if you can see, on his front paw, he's got like Kids from Fame 80s style sweat wristband things. And I don't know what colour to paint them. So we've got...
I think make them poppy. Purple?
Well, I was thinking about going in with the teal that we've got on the waistband, because again, I'm often quite conservative. Like if I hit 4 or 5 colours on a mini, I'm like, have we used enough? So we've already got like the green, the teal, the gold, which is going to go up to a yellow, red. We've got blue, grey. We've got so many colours going on here to make all of these tiny little bits read. That's particularly well done, Paul. I thought maybe I should just slow down a bit and reuse something we've already done. But you think go bright? I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
It's such a small detail. I think it'll look odd if you...
I think it'll be lost, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go in with the teal, I think. Yeah, decisions. Oh, pay me.
No, you don't mean the teal. You mean a poppy colour other than the teal.
Well, no, I was going to go in with the teal. Do you think not the teal?
Well, the red's so insignificant on there.
So what, you think use the red?
Yeah. I mean, it's a colour that's already on there, and it pops still against it.
Okay, we'll do the red.
There is one drawback to these Armada ships. Particularly these dwarves.
Right. What is that, sir?
That is currently what I'm trying to glue on to the mini with super glue.
So where's that going?
You see that one that side?
Oh yeah.
I've got one to do.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that
it's
side.
a little circular. Fucking hell.
Divot.
Get yourself a pair of tweezers.
I did buy myself a new pair of tweezers.
Was that because you were fed up with plucking your eyebrows with your wire-nose pliers?
They work. I'm an engineer.
You can't tell the difference between millimeters and centimeters.
Yeah, I work in
Fuck's sake.
meters. I work in meters and millimeters, mate. Centimeters are not a unit for me.
Meters and millimeters only.
Yes.
How fucking arbitrary of you.
Oh, and I can also work in inches because America. Because freedom! Okay, mate. You calm down over there.
Oh, dear. Yeah, because you sell a fair bit of stuff over the pond in your business, don't you?
Yeah.
Do the Yanks all get triggered by the old metric system?
Yes. Fucking hell, I sent a parcel in centimeters and kilos, which is like the fucking industry standard. The Yank rings me up and goes, "Can I have that in pounds and inches?" I'm like, "No, you can have the dimensions that I've given you and convert them yourself." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm giving them you in units that I understand."
Because 21st century, that's why.
Yeah, we're not in the fucking Middle Ages.
I'd have given it to him in fucking Roman units.
You'd have given it to him, would you?
Yeah. I'd have said, I'll tell you what, I'll give it you in fucking shekels and cubits. How's that?
You can have it in chains.
Right, mate. I think we're going to need to call it because it's 10 o'clock.
It is
coming
10
up.
o'clock. So, boys and girls, hope you had a good evening.
Thank you for everybody who was sat along with us. Yeah, got a bit of work done tonight. Had a bit of a rant about Kickstarter and the abortion it has become, and 40k and the abortion that has become. But move quickly on, Paul. Move quickly on.
Quick, keep your head down.
Quick, salt. So some seasoning with that.
We need to get that salt shaker meme.
Yeah, definitely a little animation.
Well, you know what I'm fucking like. It's like, oh, it's broken.
To be fair, it doesn't take much to set you off. I'll give you that. Right, so hope everybody else got something constructive done with their evening, and we will see you next week. See you later, everyone.
Bye.